All right. This July 8th meeting of the Radford City School Board will come to order. Before our moment of silence, I'm just going to ask you to please keep in mind, in heart, prayer, however you choose, our former custodian from McCard, Mr. Josh Green, who is dealing with some very serious health issues. And I know he would appreciate all of your positive thoughts and prayers to help him at this time. So please join me in a moment of silence. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. You received the agenda, a copy of the agenda in advance, and so if I would ask for your approval, a motion to approve the agenda at this time.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? All right. Now, I'm not sure how to navigate this appointment. Is it just ask for a motion to?
Well, it's shown up here first.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have to approve you, as though there were any question. All right, so should we do this as one motion or individual motions?
It's up to you all. So
Okay.
you could do it as one if you like.
Okay, so I need a motion for the appointment of Carrie Long as our clerk, of, help me.
Oh, the deputy clerk?
Yes.
Cindy Blankenship.
Cindy Blankenship as deputy clerk and is deputy agent,
Agent is J.C. Hamilton.
okay? And deputy agent,
Yours truly.
oh, hello. All right, so an appointment for Carrie Long for clerk, Cindy Blankenship for deputy clerk, J.C. Hamilton as agent, Dr. Joyce as deputy agent. Is there a motion?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that appointment carries. Now,
It's pretty nice when you get to recognize kids in the middle of July. And the reason we do that, I called Mr. Wade. I said, you got to help me round these kids up because they need to be recognized for some really outstanding performances, accomplishments. So at this time, I would like to call on Mr. Cody Roberts. We'll let track go first and tell us about some of the great accomplishments that your Bobcat track team had this spring.
Well, our Bobcat track team, we had the biggest numbers I've had in my time as head coach, so that's very, very encouraging. I think considering our girls finished 9th in the state, our boys finished 3rd as teams, and doing that with the circumstances we were dealt with the track and having to practice elsewhere, and I think that's a testament to the kids and how hard they practice, how hard they work, and they don't get deterred by anything. I'd like to at least acknowledge some of my all-state kids while I got a chance here. Our girls 4x8 finished 3rd. That's Cora Mosby, Abigail Cassaberry, Olivia Close, and Lily Hyatt. Raylan Adams was 3rd in discus as a freshman. Big throws from her all year. On the boys' side, we had, let's see here, Makai Martin was 4th in the 200. Javier Wade, 5th in the 200. That was one of the most fun races I think I've watched as a coach because they were in the same heat and they just were fighting each other all the way down the front stretch. It was a lot of fun. We also have Essex Williams was third in long jump, second in triple jump. And I'd also, can we go ahead and bring them up here?
Sure.
My boys 4x1 relay team finished first in the state, almost set a state record, shattered the school record that they had set, a month prior, with a time of 42.39 seconds. Y'all come on up. And
Slow
also,
now. Take it easy.
yeah,
It's not a race.
going up. And Essex, not too long after that 4x1, won the 200-meter dash, breaking the school record that had been held for, 12, 13 years. And he won by .01 seconds. So that was pretty awesome. I just got to say one more thing too. These boys have been so much fun to coach. I mean, my whole team really. We asked them to jump. They say how high. All these guys battled injuries all season, and they were just determined to at least try to win a state championship. And I know we came up a little short, but there's next year, right? But I do have one more thing. Essex Williams won the 300-meter dash in indoor, breaking another school record on that one too. And his ring came in the other day. So I just want to give this to Essex real quick so he gets his ring. Very, very proud of you guys.
So let's do a couple things here. Coach Robert, will you come around and let's get a picture?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Now let's have a look at that ring. That's good. That's good.
You can hold yours up
Let's see it.
too.
These are the last ones held over from the state team a few years back.
Well, let's have a
Oh,
look.
wow. Ooh. Look at that.
Big smile.
Ooh, and a big arm.
That is gorgeous.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Congratulations. And I want you guys to know, in case you haven't noticed, we're getting you a track. Everything in this school board's power. By next time this year, you'll have just finished your first year on a brand new track. Yeah. All right, Mr. Ferguson, would you please join us with some recognitions?
Thank you, Dr. Joyce. I would like to say that Mr. Roberts and I, we do share several athletes between tennis and track. And I guess we're both from deep Southwest Virginia, so I guess we, just work very well together naturally. But I do want to thank him for working with me to share athletes, and I think we do a very good job of that. Like Mr. Roberts, tennis had the largest number that I would imagine since Radford High School was established. We've had about 30 kids come out, and there are a few more gray hairs on my head because of that. Big reason is over there. But anyways, I'm very honored to coach both teams. We had a very successful year. Not every high school in the Commonwealth has the privilege to have both boys and girls teams qualify for the state tournament. And both of our teams made it to the state quarterfinals. We lost to the state champion for both boys and girls teams. So, we played very close matches. Just didn't go our way. But I do have the privilege of recognizing our girls individual doubles team. They made it to the state championship. They came up a little bit short. Lydia, of course, is here. Our other lady who played with her, Kira Sarton, she is on a cruise. I'm sure she is very disappointed that she's not here today. But they were both named to the All-State tennis team this past Sunday. That came out, and we hope to see their names on the Roanoke Times All-Timesland tennis team. That should probably come out in the next 2 weeks, I hope. And then I have the great pleasure of Lydia. Come on up, please. Lydia won. I think this was probably the toughest match for me to coach. There was a lot of sweat, There were tears, mainly by me, and there was actually some blood on the tennis court. We had never seen this in high school tennis. We had a nosebleed through the match. So we're not going to talk about which player did that, but I think you can make that assumption. But coaches Hall, Green, and myself are very proud of Lydia. She competed for the single state championship. This makes a third year in a row. She lost to Marion's Parker White the past 2 years, but this year she avenged those 2 losses, and we're extremely proud of those accomplishments. So congratulations, Lydia. So, yeah.
And Lydia's a junior, right?
Yes,
So
got
she'll
one
be
more
back
year.
Again. Awesome.
That's right. And we hope to add more rings. And this was also her second state championship. She won doubles last year with Claire Fender. But maybe more importantly, I do want to commend her and Kira's leadership that they had on the team. They were both excellent leaders, but also good students as well. Kira will be going to Old Dominion University this fall. I guess she's prepping while she's on her cruise. And Lydia also not only is an exceptional student, but she's also enrolled at the Governor's School. So we have 2 very outstanding ladies on our team. So again, Lydia, congratulations. We are meeting with Jostens tomorrow morning to pick out her bling. So, yeah.
Can you come out for a picture? Looks planned to me. Thank you. Congratulations. We haven't forgotten you. I've got Mr. Wade working on tennis facilities. Secret covert operation.
Sounds good to me.
He's involved in he knows a little information. I've kept him in the loop as much.
Okay, good.
I failed to mention a couple more All-States, and it was pointed out to me by Miss Mosby over here. She was second in the 2-mile as a freshman, so I got to give her credit there. And our boys 4x8 was also 5th place, and that was 5th place, and that was William Steele, Andrew Hope, Mustafa Muhammad, and he's going to kill me, David Emmanuel. So they all wonderful job this year. So I just be mad if I didn't say something.
Does that get another picture?
No, she said no.
All right, good deal. Well, congratulations to everybody. We're very proud of you. Appreciate you representing Radford High School and the Bobcat Nation so well. And it was a pleasure to read and to watch this develop, and so we appreciate your hard work. And parents as well for getting your kids to practice and games. So thank you very much. That's all I have.
Okay. Moving on to consent items. I would entertain a motion to approve consent items.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
is there discussion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to recommend that we remove superintendent's authority to appoint personnel between meetings from tonight's agenda.
Okay, so let's rephrase that motion. Do I have a motion to accept this agenda as amended?
I make a motion that we accept the agenda, oh my gosh, the, yes.
Agenda.
Amended agenda, which
Okay,
should-
now
was
is there a
hard for me.
second?
It was hard for
Is there a second?
me. Oh my gosh.
Second.
And discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that motion carries. Our consent items stand. And I don't think we have anybody out there want to make a public comment? No? Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right, then we're moving to report of a superintendent.
Thank you very much. We have, so styrofoam, and Ms. Thomas, correct me if I'm wrong on this, okay? In fact, if you would like to come and speak to it, that would be great. I don't want to put you on the spot. I think I know enough to get this through. Okay. So styrofoam's been outlawed, for lack of a better term, but as a school division, we're going to approach the city and ask them to exempt Radford City Schools from doing away with all styrofoam for 1 year. It's an extension, it's an exception to the law or the rule, because there are times when we depend on styrofoam when we are either short-staffed or have equipment failure. So we're just going to ask you guys to sort of endorse the request for the city to give us the 1-year extension. Did I say that about right?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. The Safety and Crisis Management Guide has been updated. That should have been in your packets. A lot of it was phone numbers. We, you know, the I Love You Guys is still no major changes there. We enjoy our partnerships with those folks. So mainly that was personnel names and numbers being updated. And I'm happy to answer questions. So the policies. We had a wheelbarrow full last month, and we have about as many this month. Two things I want to call to your attention. We have one that I gave a hard copy to you last month that I asked you to take and look over. I would please request that you approve that policy after you have looked through it. And then the one that we talked about earlier was the AI and an updated agreement for computer use. Those are the two that I would like to call to your attention. The others are not less important, but they are less impactful at this time of the year. So I'm happy to answer questions about the policies that you've had in your packet to look over the last few days.
Anybody?
And of course, if during the action portion, during discussion time, if you have questions, I'm happy to entertain those as well. Student Code of Conduct was in your packet, also updated for 25-26 with an emphasis on some continuity and consistency between schools and, in fact, between consequences and offenses with students. Dr. McDaniel's done a lot of work trying to make the consequences more consistent, so that principals, maybe you're an assistant principal in one school and you're not sure how your principal handled a situation earlier in the year. This is sort of a guide to help that process, where maybe you as a student were handed one consequence. All I need to do is look down and see what's next on the, and I know every case is different and we all understand that, but it's nice to see where things stand at this point and where we might go from this point forward if it's a repeat offense. Okay? That's the major difference in the Student Code of Conduct, and our principals are prepared, or will be after our summer retreat, to roll that out to the kids so that they understand it. An MOU between one of our most respected partners, New River Valley Community Services. I would like for you guys to take some action, approve that MOU. It's not changed from year to year very much. It's a partnership that we greatly appreciate. NRVCS folks are in our schools, they're in our families' homes, they do great work helping us with wraparound services for these kids. We can do so much within the walls. NRVCS takes it from there. So we appreciate that partnership and look forward to a great year with them coming up. As I mentioned earlier to Coach Roberts, the track, if you've not been by there, I invite you to do so. The track, you've noticed a few changes at the track, and this is the part where I get really nervous, because it looks about as far away from a track as it ever has. And you start to get nervous and you think, well, how are they going to recover this and make it a track again? Well, they've assured me that we're going to be very proud of the finished product here in 3 or 4 weeks. So that's what we're going with. And they know more about it than I do. But right now it looks really, really scary. Looks rough. It looks years away from a track, but they assure me everything's fine. Everything's on schedule. And everything's proceeding very nicely. So we cannot wait. We'll lay down, it's a special asphalt, if you don't mind me saying so, that's only available on Saturdays. So, yeah, who knew? But it's a mixture of asphalt that's best for running instead of driving. We can only lay it down on Saturdays. After the track is resurfaced, it has to sit for 14 days. We can go on it, but we don't want to get it dirty. So let's just don't go on it. And then the team will come in and lay the polyurethane and paint the lines and decorate the track, so to speak. That's another 14 days that we're to steer clear, and then it's all ours. Moving forward, we will have carpeted ingress and egress across the track so that we don't put our football cleats in the new polyurethane, or there'll be no motor vehicles. I've talked to Mr. Farmer about that. But we just need to be real careful with what goes on the track so that we can keep it as nice and neat and new as long as possible. So we're real excited about that project.
Probably not a bad idea along those lines, if we haven't already, to have a conversation with our new band director as
Mhm.
well as our cheerleading coach.
Yes.
Because it's almost been
Yeah.
the norm that they're on the track during
Right.
the games, et cetera, so.
Yeah. Band kids on the track's one thing. Gator is another thing.
Sure.
So we'll have to be careful, and I'll check with the folks that do this for a living to see what is okay and what's not.
I mentioned because usually the band uses Gator to move
Yeah.
their equipment, so that's.
Yeah. We'll
There's method to the madness.
right. We'll figure something out. Everybody else that has a new track has figured something out, so we will too. And that is all I have. That's a lot, but I won't bore you with details. You've seen it in your packet, and it's posted online, so that's all I have.
Can you just speak under action items to the reimbursement resolution, VPSARP?
Yes.
Because
At the
I don't know
time or
what that
now?
is. Well, I didn't know if I should wait until we were going to take action or.
Yes. Carrie and I talked about that earlier today. That is, if you'll refresh my memory, is that a grant?
Yes, it's a state grant, that, is used to fund, technology equipment for SOLs.
Oh, okay.
And so we have to have that special resolution to be able to get that funding and to get reimbursed for it, basically. And it's
Okay.
something that I believe has been done every year about this time.
Okay. Okay, that's good. We'll be ready to vote then. All right, reports of board members.
I could go ahead and go if y'all want me to start this
Sure.
off. So, if you'll remember back in February, Nick and Karen Fisher came and spoke to during the meeting about their Be Smart campaign, which is an organization that was set up to promote safety and responsible firearm ownership. And this campaign has been adopted in several schools, including Montgomery County, Giles County, and now Rafford. We accepted that. We implemented that campaign here as well. And one of the things that they had talked about was the gun lock that they were wanting to hand out to the community members that came back to the back to school night or open house events that were at each school. And so I just wanted to bring this back up to everyone's attention that we will be handing those out at the schools on the open house nights, which I think is August 11. I don't know I think the high schools is the same date, but I'm not entirely sure. But one of the things that we're going to be handing out is the gun lock, and then also a card, or we should be also handing out the card. And this one is for Montgomery County. Of course, ours will be for Radford City Schools. And it's on it is the acronym on the Be Smart and what the SMART stands for. And so I just think it's a really neat thing that we're going to be doing. So I just wanted to remind everybody, and I think most of the school board members are interested in being the ones that are helping hand that out and volunteer and hand that out. So I wanted to talk about that, and that's really all I have.
So building admins might think about where you would want that to be placed.
Yeah, and
Okay.
if you have, I don't know what it will look like, if we'll need to have tables in several different spots or just one. I'm not sure what that's going to look like in your building. So yes, please and thank you.
I'm just going to speak to the trustee for the King Award. King Award has been traditionally given at Radford High School. It is presented by the James P. King family, and it is given to one senior boy and one senior girl graduating each year. Truist Bank has been the trustee for that, but they have released themselves from that relationship, and we are going to transfer that now to Edward Jones, which is under the leadership of Caroline Gaskins, who happens to be a granddaughter in the King family. So she's going to begin handling that for us, and we will be voting on that in just a little bit. I just want to say, before we get to the action items with regard to the Student Code of Conduct, I've read it over a couple of times, and it's a lot of information. And I just, my feeling is that our feedback during our listening tour, individual teacher feedback, we have often heard we need strong support for disruptive behaviors that compromise our instruction. And so if this new method takes care of that, then I'm all for it, But I also want to add, and this is for any teachers who might be listening, that there is a component to this with examples of proactive teacher supports for classroom managed behaviors. And so teachers have an opportunity at the very beginning of the year to set the tone for their classrooms. It involves teaching your expectations. It involves practicing those expectations, modeling those expectations, reviewing those expectations, and emphasizing consistency and accountability. So I feel like, working together, that things can be better, relationships can be better, and the instructional environment can be better. So I'm excited to see that happening. All right, anybody else?
I just wanted to say thank you. It's not necessarily direct board business, but it's community related. For anyone who had the opportunity over the past July 4th weekend to come out, a lot of great events around the community. We lacked the centralized event that we were all accustomed to, but there were a lot of smaller community events that happened, and we celebrated in the way that, frankly, our Bobcat Nation does. We didn't forget about it. We didn't forget about what's important. It's great. It's amazing to see. It does my heart good to hear things in the community, like the way that our student athletes are performing, the way that our building administrators are pulling together and coming out in the middle of summer to be here and support everything and see what's going on. It proves things that we are family. So that makes it so great to continue to fight for it. I know we all feel those days when we're a little down, a little beat up by it, a little hot, a little tired. But when you see that smile on the face of a person who just had that aha moment, it really helps pull that all together. And that's what being a Bobcat to me is all about. So, and it's, to hear the coaches talk about the students as they're performing. I'm not going to start counting gray hairs. I don't want to play that game. I stopped a long time ago. But I will say, and I wanted to mention when Lydia was still here, I'm sorry she's gone now, but a bloody nose on a tennis court is not the worst thing that's happened. I can speak to that directly because I was in high school and actually had one of my first broken noses on the tennis court playing tennis. So lesson learned, never play doubles tennis with a person who is nearsighted. I know now. But, things happen. It's, the track being moved around and redone, resurfaced. All these things are for a greater cause, and it's what's above us here, every student, every day. So I take that to heart. I know we all do on the board. And just want to say thank you to everyone who is here and everyone who is paying attention and listening for that. We celebrate as a community. We pull together as a community. Right now there's people that need it. So thank y'all. That's all I got.
Mr. Dobbins, could I toss it back to you to do the acknowledgement for these that I'm the only one wearing right now, but yeah.
Okay, sure. So, as everybody knew, I had one of these around my head during graduation, and it took attraction to a lot of people. So, I went to the maker, which was Megan Polisi. I got to say it right, or she'll kill me. But anyway, she's the one that made them. She made them for the soccer team. So she made me one, and I think the whole board, and there were some people that wanted them made. So I reached out to her, and she made
I
them.
was mad. I was full-fledged mad.
This will be in my
jealous.
graduation stole.
So I think
Yeah.
it's really
I love it.
nice. I mean, it is. It's all Bobcat through and through, which I really love. And anybody that needs one can certainly reach out to Megan. She would have no problem making them for you, I'm sure.
She did a
But-
good job,
Yeah.
and thank you,
And she
thank
would
you.
take no proceed for it, but I'm going to give her all the credit and kudos for making them.
I love one.
We love it.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you do, and I
We
know
will.
she's happy that you have them. So.
We will wear them with pride.
You're very welcome.
Absolutely.
What's that?
All right, then
Oh,
moving.
It's not mine, is it?
You gotta watch it, y'all don't.
That's why I hide my pen, I'm just saying.
Moving to action items. The first one was the exemption request for Radford City Schools nutrition program to ask Radford City Council to exempt us for 1 year and allow us to use up our stock of styrofoam lunch trays. So is there a motion to approve this exemption request?
I make the motion that we approve this exemption request to present to city council for continuing to use styrofoam for 1 year.
Is there a second?
I'll
Second.
second. Thank you.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? All right, and now we're moving to the Safety and Crisis Management Guide. Would entertain a motion to accept that as well.
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion about that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, finally, next down to policy revisions. There were many of those that came from VSBA, and then we have added the AI usage, terms for AI usage, and the personnel policy statement of ethics component. So is there a motion to accept those policy revisions and additions?
So moved. I didn't
And a
start.
second?
Second.
And all, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay, now we're down to student code of conduct. Is there a motion to accept that?
I make the motion we approve the presented student code of conduct for 2025, 2026.
And is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? All right, motion carries. Now we're down to the MOU agreement between Radford City Schools and NRV Community Services. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second. Sorry, Jane.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? All right, down to that reimbursement resolution for VPS, ARP, SOL, web-based supplies for 2026. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify with
Aye.
aye. And opposed? All right, and then transfer of trusteeship from Truist Bank to Edward Jones for the King Award. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
And all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We get everything?
Think so?
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Madam Chair, I move that the board convene into closed session pursuant to section 2.2-3711A1 to discuss the appointment, resignation, and retirement of employees of the school board as well as the admission of students.
The motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
And any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are in closed session. I need a motion
I was
to
gonna say, no way.
convene in regular session, please.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Ms. Swing, if you will certify our meeting.
Madam Chairman, I certify that only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law, and only such public business matters as were identified in motion by which the closed meeting was convened, were heard, discussed, or considered in said meeting by this public body.
So I have the certification. Is there a motion to accept that certification?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now I need a motion to accept Personnel 1.0 as discussed in closed session.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, tuition students as discussed in closed session. Motion to accept or approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the date for the next regular school board meeting, please note, is not the usual second Tuesday due to the opening of school and all of the activity that will be involved with that. So it will be instead on August 19th at 6 o'clock at the school administration building. What? All right, our meeting is adjourned. Have a good evening.